what I want to show you on this stream, because there was some questions in my Discord, and I always love answering questions, is how you may use the control mapper in SimHub. So this would be possibly something more like a tutorial, if anything else. So yeah, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I will, for the best of my ability, avoid answering any of those, and basically record this session for it being a tutorial for using the control mapper. What's it called? Control mapper, isn't it called control? Yeah, control mapper in SimHub. And to make it even more interesting, I will let me turn on a few things here, because I have everything turned off, to be honest. Everything should be on now. Okay, everything's working. So I will show you how to actually let me see something. I can reach it. And I will be setting up this wheel. So I just put everything together, screwed on the QR and the SRM adapter, and everything working with this. I have not even plugged this in. So the idea is I will show you how to set up the mappings in SimHub, and show you how I've set up the Artura Ultimate. I've set up the Fanatic 2.5, and this one will set up from scratch. So we'll do all of that. It's a process. It's a 3-step process. It is, even if you don't have multiple wheels, because up until now I didn't have and I didn't need it, but even if you don't have multiple wheels, it actually is, it makes sense to use it, because you can use these mappings on anything. You can even use these mappings on Stream Deck, I think. I haven't tried it, but you can. So it's just a way to use, basically. Let me put that there. It's basically, you create an alias between your sim and your devices. So your devices will always call up an alias of that action, and SimHub will send that action to your sim. So this way, it doesn't matter what wheel you have, the wheel will just call up the alias, and the alias will map it to wherever the sim is. It doesn't really matter. So let's get to it. Let's take a look at this thing. So let me move this here and go over to this environment where I can show you a few things. So where do we start? We start off with the control mapper. It is important that you have VJoy. So VJoy, just Google it and download it. It's a small app. It runs in the background. I don't even know. It's like super small. It just basically emulates your controllers. It's required for the control mapper. And always make sure, if I go and find my VJoy, there it is, configure VJoy. Yes, please. Just make sure there's 128 buttons, which is the maximum number of buttons that you can map. Yeah, there's 128 buttons that you can map in SimHub. The next thing you need to do, and this is kind of important, I mean, if you are already, sim racing, and if you have a game set up, you already know pretty much what you want, what actions you want. Do not confuse this with what's in the game and what's on your steering wheel. These are just aliases for the actions you want to perform. And if you see here, I've got shift down. There are a few when you set up control mapper. There are a few already, so I just have them in there. But you can see I've added a lot more. There's shift down, shift up, brake balance, plus, minus, turbo pressure. I didn't even put this. It was there when I found it. I didn't even remove it. So you put all of these aliases. These can be anything you want. These can have any name that you want. So ABS, down, increase, decrease, KERS activation, DRS activation, horn. I'm not using that. It's an alias. And as I said, there's 128 aliases you can use. So pretty much you can put, for all of the sims, all of the aliases here. You can even have separate gears. So if you have an H shifter, you can have gear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do that. You can also have, obviously, engine map increase, decrease, and also have separate engine map 1, 2, 3. So all of these, anything you want, are 128 of these things. And how you add them, so I even added things that have nothing to do with the sim. So DDU brightness decrease and DDU brightness increase. You can map anything you want. This is where you create all of the aliases. It's important to understand the aliases are just actions that you want to map to something else on your computer. So how do you add them? It's fairly simple. You just have a list. As you can see, number 83, I can add anything I want here. In fact, I was thinking, let's do wrong thing. Front ARB plus, I don't even use this. I'll just put it in here. Front ARB minus, rear, let's do rear ARB plus, rear ARB minus, and let's do the weight jacker. I don't even know if weight jacker has plus or minus. I'll just do it. Honestly, I've never used this. I just know that it exists because someone asked for it. So weight jacker is plus minus, and when I did the research to read about it, weight jacker is depending on the track. There's on one wheel it stiffens the shock absorber, something like that, and you just can modify that to help you turn in whatever. It doesn't really matter. I've added it. So now I have these aliases. I added, front ARB and rear ARB. Okay, fine. They're right here. Now, what you need to do is you need to go to your steering wheel, and you can already see for the Asher, the Ultimate, I already have these. These are mapped. Now, if I click on anything on my steering wheel that is using this, so let's say the flashlights, you can see it's mapped there. The headlights, it's mapped. Wipers, it's mapped. I also have the next dash screen. I removed left indicator and right indicator. I'm not using those anymore, but pit limiter is there. The pit settings, game HUD and OK action, my mute button. I have left indicator twice? No, maybe. Yeah, ABS, brake balance up, down, traction control, TC to cut up and down, ABS, everything is mapped to this thing here. And how do you do it here? Shift down, obviously, and shift up. I even have a button for true dark mode. You can hear it, it's sending the command. It's not doing anything. I also have my up, down, left, right, and my actions for the MFMs, which I'm using for the dashboard. You map everything here. Don't forget, these aliases all are listed here. So in this panel over here, the output mapping, this is where you put all of your aliases for every single game. If 3 of your games have a flashing for lights, you add it once here. It doesn't matter, just once. And you will map that to the game when the time comes. I'll show you how to do that. But if one has flashlights, the other one doesn't, you still add it here, and you can use it only where you need it. Okay, so this is just a list of all of the mappings across all of your games. So shift up and shift down across all of your games, it'll be the same. So you only put it once here. And then for each wheel, so here for the Artura, all you have to do is you go to map controller, you go and find, let's say, do I have everything here? I've mapped everything because I'm using the steering wheel. But then again, you can, for instance, let me remove something, right? Let's remove clear mapping. So the next dash screen. This is an action that I have a button. I'll show you right now. Let me switch over to the POV. Actually, no, I think I have the camera here. There it is, of course. And now I can zoom in on the wheel. So I have this little button here. As you can see on the screen, I have selected next dash screen, and this is the action I want to perform for that specific alias. Clicking on it, it mapped it to button 4. Done. I can do this for every single map. Obviously, if I don't have something mapped to my steering wheel, it won't ever show up in here. So you can see the Asher Artura Ultimate has so many options, whereas my Fanatic 2.5 has a lot less. These are all mapped to the same thing. So shift up and shift down and everything, they're mapped to the same aliases. Okay? And you're done with that. Now, this is the important bit. And let me launch ACC. Shit, I launched iRacing. I don't want iRacing. Launch ACC. And once I launch ACC, I'll show you how you can get these aliases into your game. That is the small and tricky part where you need to be a bit careful. And you will need your phone. You will need a device to do that. Alright, good. You obviously go to your options and you go to your controls. Okay? You don't need this anymore, at least not anymore in this case. So what you need to do is you go back to, okay, hold on a second, go back here and all the way down, open the mapping assistant on my phone. You scan that QR code and I'll show you what you get. Let me zoom out. Good. So when I scan this QR code, it will launch SimHub, a listing of all of my aliases. This is everything. I'm getting notifications. Great. Stop. So it has all of your aliases, and this is the full list of aliases that is in this column. All right? You have it here. You're done. If you change anything here, don't forget you must refresh your browser on your phone. Now, this is how you do it. Ignition. Let's clear that. You usually, when doing this, you click on this and you say, I want my ignition to be this button. And you click on the steering wheel, right? You're not supposed to do that now. What you're supposed to do is you find where your ignition is. There it is, right there. And watch this when I hit ignition. It says VJoy device button 17. We don't care about button 17. These are the aliases which are being mapped to the game. Okay? So now, that ignition alias is mapped to your ignition. If I were to do the starter, for instance, I click on here to capture it, start engine, hit the simulate here. It captured it. VJoy device. Okay? So once you do that for all of the options in the game, this goes for every sim. For all sims, you will use your phone and you will use that to simulate the aliases in-game. Now, having done that, it's fairly easy to understand that my steering wheel is mapped in SimHub to that alias, and that alias through SimHub is mapped to that control. So now if I hit this button over here, which is my ignition, clicking on it, as you can see, it's triggering it. This is not directly triggering the in-game. This is triggering SimHub, the SimHub alias, and the alias is triggering the game. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, since I'm using multiple wheels now, I don't need, actually let's leave the controls on. I don't need to remap every single control every single time. I can remove the steering wheel, I can add another steering wheel, and that steering wheel will have the same mapping. Let me try it with my Fanatic before we go on to the other wheel, which I will live set it up. So let's remove this. Please forgive me because I have a really long cable which I'm trying to fix. Let's get this out of place here. Let me remove the emulator because this is not a Fanatic wheel. And let me throw on my 2.5 Fanatic. So remember, everything has been mapped here as well. Okay? So now, this is a brand new wheel, brand new buttons. This is the button over here that I've mapped to ignition. If I click on it, it should work. And it does. Ignition. It doesn't matter. Shifting. Still works. Everything works. Pit limiter. Everything. And this is the back button, obviously. So everything is mapped through SimHub as an alias. And in your game, you map it using your phone as an alias. Pretty simple, right? Now let's do this off a blank device, brand new device. Let me remove this. We don't want the steering wheel anymore. Let me toss in the emulator again, so Fanatic knows that this is actually a steering wheel in place, and go to my coding scene. Perfect. As you can see, I only have 2 steering wheels right now, the Ultimate, which is unplugged, and a Fanatic DD1, which is connected. It's always connected. Now, let's pull up this very simple steering wheel. Okay, so this is the R305 with the BP2 button plate from Turn Racing. I have not connected this. This is brand new. So let's put it on. It's on, and let me connect it to the USB I have here. Done. So now it's on the USB. Now what I need to do is add new source controllers. This is a brand new steering wheel which I want to add. Oh, there it is. It found it. Nothing else. I haven't done anything else. And hit OK. So now in here, there's nothing mapped. What I need to do is map this steering wheel to the aliases that I need. This doesn't have as many inputs as the Ultimate, and it has even, you know, less than the Fanatic as well. Doesn't matter though. I click on Map Controller, and I start saying Shift down. Click on this, Shift down. I'm mapping the steering wheel to these aliases. Now, brake balance. This is increase, so that way decrease. I'm using the rotaries on the steering wheel here. Maybe I can actually have this and zoom into the wheel just so you guys can see as much as I can. So I'm using this, I'm rotating at. What else do I want to put? ABS. So ABS, I want to put this over here. Decrease, rotate it, increase, rotate it. DRS, nothing like that. Camera change, I want to have this as a click. It captured it. Headlights. Headlights would be this one on the inside, and I want to have, do I have flashing lights somewhere here? Did I pass them? Let's just do ignition here, start engine here. Wipers, I don't know if I'll have them. I don't really care right now. Pit limiter, important. I'll put it here. Navigation. So I want up, down, left, and right. Let's see what else. Traction control, cut, decrease, increase. I won't put engine map because flashlights, there it is. You just go through all of these aliases and you map them directly to your steering wheel. Okay, next dash screen, I don't even know. I'm not going to put anything else. I want to put my my MFM action. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. So I can change the MFMs on my dashboard, and the pause menu. This one, I don't know. There's so many things you can actually add here, and you can add anything you want. And I'm done, right? Click OK. So now as you can see, if I'm clicking things, these are mapped to these aliases. Super simple. But honestly, it's that simple right now at this point in time. Everything's mapped. I haven't mapped everything on the steering wheel, but it's mapped. Now, if I go back to my ACC, I don't need to map anything here. Ignition. There it is. Starter. There it is. Pit limiter. It's already working. And this is why I think this is pretty cool. There is one more thing I used. What was it? How was it? I remember. You can also use these in for other apps as well. So for instance, I think I did it on a Stream Deck. I'm not entirely sure. I may be wrong. But as a matter of fact, you can use this anywhere you want. Let me just check the Stream Deck. If I have this here, if I put, what would that be for the Stream Deck? Would it be system hotkey switch? If I put that there, click to assign, would this work? So if I say camera change, no, it's not working in there. Just for games? Yeah, maybe it's just for games. Pretty sure I used it somewhere though. Oh wait, no, I'm wrong. Right, so I am stupid here, so check this out. There is, under custom, so I forgot to show you this, because I'm actually pretty stupid. Stream Deck integration. Because I know I did it, but I just didn't, rehearse this whole thing. Stream Deck integration, plugin installed. You click on that, and it installs a plugin for your Stream Deck. which now, in the Stream Deck menu, you just need to go to Custom, Trigger Control Mapper Role, go there, and yeah, you got it. These are all your aliases. These are all the aliases that are available in SimHub as an alias. So in fact, I can map on my Stream Deck the up, down, left, right. I can do the pit settings. I can do anything I want. Anything. This is massive. I mean, I knew that was there. I never used it. A lot of people have been asking me, you know, how you do the multiple wheels and whatnot in Discord. So I think this is the ultimate tutorial on how to use a control mapper. It is, at first, it might seem it's kind of hard, or it's something that you may not fully grasp how it works. But I think this last, like, you know, what is it, like 20 minutes, whatever, showing you around this. I think it's more than enough for you guys to actually use it. And this is good. Let's say you have, you know, multiple wheels. Yes, of course, that'd be great. Even if you don't have multiple wheels, though, imagine you can use these aliases on your Stream Deck. So it's more than just multiple wheels. Of course, it works great for multiple wheels, like these over here. Let me get rid of this. Let me switch back. As simple as that. Unplug the wheel, toss it off, drop it, throw it, bring up your next wheel. Oh man, this wheel is so heavy. Put it in there and plug it in. And basically that's it. Once it's plugged in, this wheel is now ready to be used with any game. So I think this is fairly this is actually a really good solution. Connected, everything is working again. There it is. Flashlights, headlights. So you can map anything you want in your steering wheel any way you want. You have 128 inputs to use and map them any which way you want. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as is. I'll probably want to do more of these. Today I'm doing it through the live streaming. If I have time, I'll probably create videos dedicated to these things, but I actually do not have time to create videos and publish them. So they're going in a live stream and I'll just chop it up and put it out as a separate video. So anyway, thanks for watching this tutorial. Now I'll go back to the live stream. All right, guys.